What's your passion for success and growth in the nail industry? Today I have a roadmap for a profitable career path, mastering state board guidelines and key business strategies. Hello and welcome to my webinar. I hope you're doing well. But when was the last time you checked in with yourself instead of running on autopilot? Are you the same person you were last year? And are you on a business path to meet your career goals? Are you losing clients and wondering why? Have you lost your passion for the industry and looking for a way to regain it? Are you ready to step in and step up and increase your revenue this year? Well, this webinar is for you if you're a licensed nail technician in the United States, a cosmetologist, a nurse, a caregiver, a podiatrist, a pedicure expert, a novice, and even a high school graduate looking for a different career path. And if you're from another country where licensing isn't required to pursue a path as a nail technician. This webinar is not for you if you're not interested in building a career as a nail tech and you're not interested in opening another revenue stream as a current salon owner. And if you are a salon owner, did you know that podiatrists are hiring nail technicians to increase their cash revenue services? Nail techs don't have to work in a podiatry office to offer specialty services, so don't miss out on a huge opportunity in your business. I can't wait to share so much information that will help you. And today we will cover mindset, marketing, systems, ergonomics, and intelligent business tactics. The truth is, some of you love my mentorship and some may have beliefs that you're just starting to understand about the scope of practice and untrue statements someone told you about the beauty industry. And I hope to help you resolve those points and help you meet your career goals. Let's get the most significant scare tactic ever introduced into the nail industry out of the way so we can move on to more fun topics. The biggest lie you've ever been told is that it's against the law to work on toenails that don't appear to be perfect or appear to have nail fungus. You might even believe that you had to work in a podiatry office to offer much needed pedicure service to clients beyond a regular pedicure service. And the truth is that podiatry is seeing less reimbursement from insurance companies and supplementing their income with cash services from hiring nail technicians. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great business practice. But the podiatry office must be licensed as a cosmetology establishment with the state board, and you still can't work out of scope in the podiatry office. Working in a podiatry office doesn't extend the scope of practice. You still can't use a blade or penetrate the epidermis. You might think, if working in a podiatry office doesn't extend the scope of practice, why is it okay for nail techs to work on conditions like nail fungus in a podiatry office and not in a salon? If the podiatry office has to be approved by the State Board of Cosmetology, we should be able to do the same things in the salon. Well, you've only been misled. State boards exist to keep clients safe from unclean practices and don't mention the terms nail fungus, pincer nails, etc. You can work on nails in the salon as long as you are following the guidelines to clean and disinfect the tools and not injure the client. No written rule in the cosmetology industry prevents someone who doesn't have perfect toenails from getting their nails done in a salon. There are only nail technicians who need to have continuing education to improve their confidence to work on those types of nails. So why are industry educators telling students they can't work on nails outside of looking perfect? And why misleading the industry to limit the ability to work on about 75% of the population who has an issue with at least one of their toenails and gain a thriving career? Because they don't teach you how to do it in nail school. But the good news is, I do. And you better believe if you aren't willing to work with those clients, every walk-in salon on any corner will. So don't limit yourself. Hear me out. You may see the light bulb getting brighter and it has finally clicked that your belief wasn't true. But if you stick around for the end of the webinar, I'm going to read you about 15 responses I received from state boards of cosmetology that I emailed directly to ask point blank, is it illegal for nail techs to work on nails that have nail fungus? I want to help you renew your love for the industry and help you build your career in the best way possible. By the end of this video, you will learn important information about mindset, marketing, systems, ergonomics, and business tactics. And I will share how to become a specialty toenail and restoration nail technician to meet the needs of clients with regular pedicures all the way to restoration techniques to help clients with any number of unwanted toenail appearances that aren't medical conditions. So who am I? And why would you choose me as a mentor? I'm Lori Halloway. I started my career as a nail technician in 1994, over 30 years ago. I provided solutions to clients who needed help and could not find help, not even in the medical industry. I built a thriving business model to generate over $120,000 a year in service revenue just years after starting in the beauty industry. I'm a successful educator with an online nail academy, inventor and patent holder of the only ergonomically designed hand rest for nail technicians in the world, an author of a book to start an apprenticeship program in your business called Sheer Savvy. I'm a YouTube creator with almost 1 million subscribers and over 320 million views, and a multi-million-dollar beauty brand owner. I have over 1,000 happy graduates from my online nail academy, where they learned the same system to create the career of their dreams, and a network of nail techs in 14 countries. And this growth is exciting because it's only the first 3 years of business for our online academy. I travel around the country giving in-person workshops at nails-only trade shows where students are eager to get a taste of what they'll learn when they complete my online learning system, and I've developed skills and techniques to help people for over 30 years. One of my very first students in the UK was even voted Foot Care Practitioner of the Year this year. So what I teach, you learn and can incorporate into your daily services. I've helped over 1,000 nail techs save their business and even double their income. I've seen it all. I've done it all. I've spent a lot of time, effort, and money making sure things are seamless and content delivery is superior to anything. I've guided thousands of clients who couldn't find a certified meticulous manicurist near them to resolve their issues. So believe me when I say, I can help you and tell you precisely what you need to do if you're genuinely interested in making more money and skyrocketing your career. I can teach you precisely what you need to do in your business to become the most sought-after facility in your area and command higher service sales. I don't just teach you how to work on difficult toenails. I teach you an all-encompassing program for the future success of your career. I'm passing on this lesson because my vision is to elevate the nail care industry and skills for nail technicians to meet clients' needs in the specialty toenail niche. You can learn techniques to help your clients right in your own business. You don't have to work in a podiatry office to perform specialty services and stay within your scope of practice. This industry has been so good to me. This is my legacy. I've already extended my education into the UK and Canada, where nail technician licensing isn't required, but the safety and protection of clients are of the utmost importance. Habia, the UK's hair and beauty industry authority, is using my course content to update and outline the national occupational standards with my specialty techniques to ensure client safety and elevate the nail industry's performance. More than you'll ever know, there is a demand for specialty toenail and restoration nail technicians, with the most significant percentage of the population entering their elderly years and podiatry offices referring clients to nail technicians to alleviate their schedules of the low reimbursement rates of routine nail care to make room for clients with more surgical needs. You might not have been born with the ambition to be a nail technician when you grow up, but I'd like to tell you that this is a lucrative career path. When I walked out of my advanced business math class in my third year of college, I saw a large pie chart on the wall stating the starting salaries of every significant profession. I read each title and each starting wage, and I questioned why I was continuing to invest in college when I had already made more money than those starting salaries. In the back of my mind, I always said it was in case I needed a degree to fall back on, but clearly I had already achieved an above average salary. That was my last semester in college, and my skills and income increased yearly. Of course, I continued to groom and enhance my knowledge with education, self-discipline, and learning. So before we dive in, it's essential to review another current landscape problem in the nail industry. Nail technicians think that they don't have the right to sell retail products to help restore the appearance of nails to a previous state. If clients can walk into any retail store and purchase products over the counter, they can also purchase in your business. Salons sell skin cleansers for acne, specialty shampoo for dry scalps, and all of that is easily recognizable and does not need a diagnosis. We do not use ICD codes or bill insurance. Diagnosis codes are only in the medical industry. Nail technicians also believe that they must immerse themselves in the long nail art trend, and it is possible to specialize in these services as long as there are clients to fill your books. But with so many clients looking for pedicure services and not wanting to go to the quick in and out walk-in salons, there is an increasing need every day for clients looking for you. If you don't have pedicures in your service menu, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. The people who are actively searching for a specialty toenail and restoration nail technician aren't just people who have been turned away from nail salons or have been told by physicians and podiatrists there's nothing to restore their toenails, or the other option is to remove the toenail and take harsh medications, and this is not the desired outcome of the client. These clients are searching for help, and they have resorted to trying to care for their nails at home, but they don't want to. They want to find you. Toenail changes occur for many different reasons. For clients, it could be a byproduct of their job, wearing the wrong shoes, an injury or damage from a sport, or poor circulation. With the techniques I teach, I've helped clients in my salon completely restore their pincer toenails and suffering from discomfort from anywhere from 2 to 10 years. I've helped clients with ram's horn toenails change the direction and get their nails to grow straight again. I've helped clients who had nail fungus in their nails for over 10 years restore their toenails. So let's talk about mindset. It would help if you shifted your mindset from focusing only on what you learned in nail school to providing simple manicures or extensions for enhanced beauty, to being a problem-solving, result-oriented, professionally developed nail technician. Nail technicians are a dime a dozen and can be found on any block for someone to walk in and get a polish change or even the instant gratification of nail extensions. How are you going to be different to provide services clients desperately need? Being able to relate to clients and offer them the actual attention and care they need to restore their dignity and improve the quality of their life is not only an entirely different level of nail technician, but when you can provide this for your client base, you become indispensable. You can create the salary warranted by the services you provide. Your services will become more valuable than any walk-in salon, and clients are willing to pay for quality and results. Your service revenue could more than double, and your service menu will grow to offer at least 3 additional service levels. Even cosmetologists trained in hair care are licensed in the beauty industry to provide nail services. Gaining confidence and acquiring the education to give the best pedicure your client has ever received can help you fill your books and your processing times of hair color clients. You already have the clients. You are just going to expand your service menu. So many foot care nurses and podiatrists are moving into the hybrid concierge business model and no longer accepting insurance. Every foot care nurse and podiatrist who has ever taken my continuing education has been able to create a thriving business and tell me it's the best education and more thorough than anything they were taught in school. You'll be empowered and proud of the strides you make to call yourself a specialty toenail and restoration nail technician. You are not a minimum wage earner with ordinary skills. You'll become an expert providing the results and answers clients have searched for. Caregivers have had to figure out on their own how to care for family members who are incapacitated and suffering from dementia or no longer able to reach their own feet. Learning efficient and effective techniques has been a lifesaver for them. They are even reversing thick yellow toenails for the comfort and mobility of their loved ones. Next, let's talk about marketing. Word of mouth spread very quickly for me when I was starting out. People couldn't believe what I could accomplish in a regular pedicure service and shared my business information with friends and family. Social media is a great way to advertise your services, but many people are only posting photos of finished sets of nails or manicures. Clients need to know who you are and want to see your space and your face. Many operators think it's the business owner's responsibility to get new clients for you, but that's a bit closed-minded. Hopefully your goal is to become self-employed at some point. So working in a commissioned salon is the time you need to build your client base, and you can learn a lesson about if you're ready to become self-employed. But the goal of being self-employed one day should motivate you to market yourself and gain the trust and respect of the clients. So when you move locations, the clients will follow you. Now, being self-employed is excellent, but if you have a great relationship with your salon owner and you're getting paid a great commission, sometimes there is no reason to become self-employed and have to rely on doing everything a business owner has to do all by yourself. So let's improve that mindset and do it. You have to market yourself. You want to attract like-minded clients with whom you have things in common. That is the only way, besides meeting their needs, that you will have client retention. And then these clients will refer their friends and family to you. I'm going to give you a formula to create a reel for social media to attract clients. You can use the editing tool right in the Instagram or TikTok app to create the reel. First, there's going to be an introduction, about 10 seconds. You have to film your face. You don't have to speak if you don't want to, or you're uncomfortable, but you do have to start somewhere and show yourself. If you aren't going to speak, you have to put text on the screen. You can film yourself sitting at your station, working or looking into the camera, smiling, waving to your potential clients, or even cleaning your station. And remember, you aren't creating a video to show off to your peers. You are creating a video to connect with your target market. So decide who your target market is. Ideally, you'll show off several of your skills by posting a video to attract a variety of sought-after services. Next is to document the journey they'll experience when they come to see you. Film another 10 to 15 second clip entering the building or choosing a polish color, and a tiny actual service clip. Then you'll add a voiceover to this portion saying something like, "I'm looking forward to meeting you," and exceeding your service expectations. And finally, a call to action of about 20 seconds. Tell them how to book with you and what to expect after they book. Do a screen recording of your booking site or your website or your social media page. The most beneficial marketing strategy for my graduates is from my online nail academy map locator. Clients looking for help can go onto my map and enter the zip code and find a technician who has completed the advanced training and are looking to build a client base. Many other marketing suggestions are provided in the course to help you gain clients and reach your income goals. And cosmetologists need to realize how many clients wish they could find a one-stop salon for their self-care needs. They don't want to have to schedule at different locations to get their nails done, and they would be ecstatic to find a place where they could make one phone call and get their hair and their nails done in one place. Next is some tips on systems and processes to help your daily routine and fit more clients into your day. I have a saying, the slower you go, the faster you'll be done. But don't confuse my message to think that it's okay to take more than 90 minutes to complete a service, a pedicure service or a nail service. Clients don't want to spend all day in the salon, and a long service time could be a deal breaker for client retention. Taking too long to accomplish a service leaves the client questioning the competency of the service provider. But don't worry, because I will teach you to avoid mistakes and not to repeat unnecessary steps to save you time during every service. You will be efficient and effective for the best client retention. The lesson you can start implementing today is my touch it once approach. Stop wasting time working on the nail with several different tools. Use one tool on all nails and sit it down. I don't care if it looks a mess. Move on. Use the next tool for the next step. And on the toenails or the fingernails, pay attention when you're on each step, observe what you need to do, and then when it's time to pick up those nippers, go back and trim off that piece of skin. I guarantee you it's going to save at least 15 minutes off of every service you offer. Doesn't matter if you see a hangnail. Make that mental note. You can trim it off on the next step. Next is some system advice. Now, walk-in salons have a different business model than most appointment-based locations. The more people they get in a day, the better for their bottom line. But is that true? This business model needs to consider the client's retention and meeting their needs. When they rush through the service, the client feels like a number, not someone valued for their patronage. Customer service is the best system approach for the success of your business. Understand and meet the client's goal to ensure the client returns. You want to avoid being in a constant state of looking for new clients to fill your books. If you're still waiting for clients to rebook and don't have at least an 80% booking retention rate, there is something you need to ask yourself. Did you understand the client's goals and needs? And what could you have done differently to rebook that client before they left the salon? The next tip is about ergonomics. Did you know the long-term effects of having the wrong posture that leads to pain and discomfort and ultimately to nail technician burnout and retirement? You want to avoid repetitive use injuries. Prevention tactics are often ignored in the industry. They are all caused by incorrect posture and the client's weight on your body. And I want you to stay in the beauty industry helping clients for as long as possible, or until you decide that you want to retire because you want to, not because you have to. Keeping your head over your shoulders during a pedicure and nail service is paramount. It pains me to see pictures and videos of nail techs hunched over their tables, sitting with a crick in their neck, their torso, their elbows on the table. You have to prevent the weight of the client's body and the ability of them to press on you. This is the Ergo Lift. It's a patented hand rest for nail technicians that resolves every bad hand position a client can do to you. No other hand rest on the market resolves ergonomic problems. The Ergo Lift is the only patented ergonomically designed hand rest in the world, and it would help if you were using it to save your body daily. Stop wasting your hard-earned income on other devices that don't prevent clients from pushing, pulling, moving, pressing, and ultimately forcing you to move out of your ideal posture to keep you safe from repetitive use injuries. So next is smart business tactics. We're going to talk about chair rental versus employee. I know you want to make a lot of money right out of the gate, and I'll share how to achieve a fantastic salary. But the first step is to not rent a booth right out of school. You have to learn how to be a business owner first. You need to find out what all your responsibilities are and how much everything is costing you on top of marketing yourself to get clients. And now you have all of the pressure of the overhead. The overwhelming responsibilities will lead to quick burnout and retirement from the industry. Just last week, I saw about 10 posts from people with years of experience saying that they were giving up their suite and returning to a commission salon. It would help if you got great at juggling every business responsibility before becoming self-employed, and you will only make more money working in a salon suite if you're generating over $1,200 a week. Do you think that's crazy to hear? Well, let me show you. Let's start with commission in a salon. When you work commission in a salon, the salon owner should be buying your supplies and paying your taxes. And don't mess it up by stealing from your employer, because you'll never make it as self-employed if you're practicing habits like that. I owned a salon for 20 years and I know firsthand. Let's start with the 50% business model. Let's subtract 10% from the supplies, 15% for the taxes, 10% for the overhead and utilities, 2% for the receptionists and cleaning staff for payroll. That's 50 minus 37, that leaves 13% for the salon owner. So if you're generating high volumes in sales, you could even negotiate a little bit more, but depending on the business's overhead and how many other employees they have, it's a negotiation.
When considering whether working in a salon or renting a chair someplace, you're going to need some additional information that most nail technicians are not aware of when they make that decision. So we're going to go over this spreadsheet and I'm going to explain how to use the cost per product to enter into this column here, depending on if you're going to become chair rental or not. And you can save this information for later down the road if you decide to do it. So a lot of people, when they become chair rental, don't understand that the salon, when you're working commission in a salon, the company pays for 50% of your Social Security taxes and for 50% of your Medicare taxes. There's also federal unemployment, Michigan unemployment that the chair rental is not responsible for, but you still also are responsible for your withholding and your tax withholding. Then you're also responsible for providing all of your own supplies, paying your own credit card fees, paying your own salon liability insurance, making payments, of course, for any loan payments for equipment that you've purchased, doing all of your own laundry, purchasing all of your own cleaning supplies and laundry detergent to do your towels, paying for your own phone service, your towels, laundry expenses, and some of these might pertain to you too, but we're going to go over that list in a little bit. So you can change any of these numbers that would pertain to you. I put some salons, when they start a person out, they will give them 40% commission. So depending on how much money you're generating a week is going to depend on how much the salon owner is going to offer you in commission. If you come into a salon with clientele and you're generating around $800 a week, they probably will give you 50%. They might even give you a little bit more. That's a negotiation that is up to you. But I'm going to explain why a salon needs to make these commission numbers in just a minute. So if you're working in a salon and you're making 40% commission and you're doing, let's say you're brand new and you're only doing $400 a week in sales, the amount to the technician is going to be $160. Then there's going to be your portion of your federal unemployment, your Michigan unemployment. This is the responsibility of the salon owner. They have to pay this. The salon owner has to pay your Social Security. They have to pay your Medicare. They have to do your withholding, and then they have to withhold for your federal. They have to pay for all of the supplies. They pay for the credit card fees when your clients use the credit card machine. So the amount of money going to the salon is $240, and then after all of these other expenses are subtracted, the nail technician is going to make about $131. The salon owner also has to pay for salon liability insurance for each person. And I don't think that I subtracted that total from the salon earnings. I'll have to check. 18. Nope, I didn't. All right, so the salon is making a little bit less because you have to subtract $20, so $220. Let me just fix that real quick. All right, and then we will carry that over. Okay. If you're going to be making around $650 a week and you're getting paid 45% commission, the amount to the nail technician is going to be $292, and then the portion to the salon is $370. So I'm going to jump over to this chart because if you're working in a salon working commission, you can change these column totals, insert the amount of service dollars you're doing per week, and you will be able to compare it if you decide to become chair rental. So if we go over here to chair rental and we say $400, you're doing $400 a week, your tech is going to get $131.12 from the paycheck from the salon. If you're chair rental and you're doing $400 a week, the amount to the technician is $400, but then they have to pay their chair rent. So depending on where you live, the average chair rent is usually around $150 to $175. So I put in $175. You can change that amount. We can even go low. Let's go $125 because the amount is low. Sometimes you might negotiate a deal with the salon owner and your rent will be lower depending on how much money you make per week also. So your chair rent, then you don't have to worry about these two, but you have to pay both of these because the company share is now your responsibility. You have to pay both of these because they're both your responsibility. You have to withhold your own Michigan tax. Well, I'm in Michigan. You have to withhold your own taxes and your own federal. You have to pay for your own supplies, which on average, depending on what your cost per product worksheet says, after you develop all of those answers, you're going to be able to determine what your cost is. And I put an average of just around 11%. Then you're going to have to pay your credit card fees. Now, this is if all $400 were charged, and I would say that 90% of people nowadays do use credit cards unless you make them pay cash or write you a check, but clients are shown to spend more money in a salon when they use a credit card. So to save $10, I think that I would let my clients use their credit card so they can purchase more stuff. And then we're going to change that to $125 because we changed it up there. So for $400, the amount that the nail technician would earn is only $26.20 because they have to pay all of this themselves, and the salon liability insurance is your responsibility as well. So let's change this to $600. We'll go up. Service amount, $600. All of these are your responsibility based on this total because it's a portion. You see the 0.0145 depends on the spreadsheet that I generated is multiplying that information for you. So if you change this number, it's going to give you all of the correct totals yourself. It's also going to do the 11% off of the $600, the credit card fee off of that. The amount to the salon, I left this at $175, so they're going to earn $175 from you. the nail technician is going to earn $156. So if you go 600 here, let's change this over here to 600 at 45%. The nail technician is earning $156, but if you were working commission in the salon, you're going to actually take home $221. And you also don't have to do all of the ordering, all of the towels, all of your confirmation calls, all of your laundry. Now, actually, so all of that stuff that I just mentioned hasn't even been subtracted from this total yet. Because here's the tech earnings on that first column. And we still have some fixed expenses in here. If you enter a total in here that you may have, say you have to pay a portion of the electricity when you negotiated the terms of your contract with your landlord and they said that you could that they would pay you $125 a week, but you had to pay an additional $50 a week towards gas, electric, water, etc., then just enter $50 into one of these columns, change the name here to electricity and gas, just for you to keep track, and then it will subtract it and tell you what your total is right here. So then you'd be in the hole, negative $23.80. So depending on what your expenses are and how you negotiate the terms of your contract with your landlord, you want to be careful not to go into a chair rental agreement situation and you end up making way less than you ever would have if you would have stayed in the salon. And I'm going to talk about the numbers that you need to generate in order to be profitable and make more money as chair rental in just a second. All right, so let's just keep going with this low column, 2620, 2620. Say we didn't have any additional expenses that we were responsible for, but we do have cleaning expenses. So you're going to have your disinfectant, your Clorox cleanup, etc. If you're going to clean for 30 minutes, time is money. You actually need to charge yourself. That's an expense because you weren't making money during that thing. You could say that it's owner equity, but really it is an expense because time is money. So you have to say it cost you $30. If you're working in a salon, you have a receptionist who is making your appointments and your confirmation calls. So if you're spending 30 minutes a day or an hour a day or whatever, I put $30 because I can generate $30 for a manicure in 30 minutes. And so if I'm spending 30 minutes doing courtesy calls, I'm actually losing $30 because it costs me money. It's not that I'm paying myself to do it and that's how you're generating the expense. You're taking time out of your day. So you could have been generating $30 to give a manicure, but you actually lost $30 because you had to clean, and then you lost another $30 because you had to make appointments and do your confirmation calls. Now you also have the expenses for your phone. You have to purchase your own towels and do your own laundry, which did I already add that in there? I don't think so. So actually, after you subtract any of these variables, now you're really in the hole at minus $73.30. Now technicians think that, oh, I'm going to go and do this service and then I just made this money, but you didn't make that money because you actually have expenses, and people forget about all of the expenses they have, and when they aren't tracking them properly, when it gets to tax time at the end of the year, they're very shocked at how much they didn't make and how much they owe in taxes because they didn't save the money. So when you generate, if you're self-employed and you generate $600 a week, the first thing you need to remember is that you need to save 1/3 of this amount to go toward your taxes alone. So forget all about $200 of it. Only $400 is ever going to be really considered profit, and then you're going to have to subtract your expenses and stuff from that. So just keep that in mind. Now let's talk about people who work as employees and they think that it's not fair that the salon owner is only paying them 40% commission. Some people don't even think that it's fair that they're getting charged 50% commission. But let's look at these expenses. Let's say that we have a pretty good even generator, a nail tech doing $800 a week. The nail tech's going to get $400 after all of these expenses. Actually, the tech is going to get $327, and the salon is going to get $460. But out of that $460, now this is a week, $460. If we come down here and we look at all of the expenses that a salon is responsible for on a weekly basis, the average rent for a salon, depending on the square feet of it, is somewhere between $2,000 and $2,400 a month. So you can change this amount, depending on how much the rent is per week. Say it's only $1,600, or no, yeah, $1,600, $400, and that's all going to change. They have property taxes, they have to purchase beverages, coffee, water, etc., paper towels, toilet paper, tissues, all of the cleaning supplies, bleach, mop, etc., pay gas and electric, pay phone, pay water expense, internet, salon insurance, the receptionist's salary, maybe even an assistant salary, brochure materials, advertising costs, and I didn't even put in the computer. You can enter numbers into these and it will change the total down here. And you can add your own items here. So $1,761. So a salon owner has to generate at least $1,761, because say they don't have a computer, say they're taking paper appointments, $1,761 per week. So they have to have 5, I think, 1,761 divided by 5, 1761. No, divided by 460. So they have to have at least 4 people generating $460 just to barely break even. That's why salon owners who think they're going to open a salon and generate enough revenue to live on are really shocked when they find out that they still have to provide services in order to make an income. Because if they aren't generating services and they only have 4, even 5 people, they aren't even able to pay themselves from this, because after they do have a little bit of income left over, say that they had $100 left over, now they have to pay income tax, personal income tax on that total. So salon employees who think that it isn't fair, it's only because they don't understand all of the expenses a salon owner is responsible for, and the taxes, the credit card fees, all of those little variable expenses that an employee never sees is part of the problem of why people don't understand. So if you're considering working in a salon or going chair rental, you need to consider all of these different variables. You have fixed expenses, you have variable expenses, and then you have your consumable expenses, which is your product cost, which you have to replace on a weekly basis, monthly basis. If you buy in bulk, you should always buy in bulk if you're doing chair rental, because that will lower your price per service, because generally if you order a 32 ounce of cuticle remover compared to a 16 ounce bottle of cuticle remover, you're going to get a better value per ounce for the product. So let's say you're working in a salon and you're generating $1,200 a week, and the salon owner is being pretty generous and giving you 55%. So the tech earnings are going to be $540. So let's go over here to $1,200. $1,200. Tech earnings $518. So in the past, I've said that you have to make more than $800. And I say more than $800 because some of these variables can change depending on your area. Say your chair rent wasn't $175, say it was only $125. Now we're going to go down to tech earnings and it's $568 compared to the $540. But we haven't subtracted all of these expenses for your doing your laundry, doing your cleaning expenses, and you'll have to enter that amount to see actually what your legitimate numbers are. I don't know how much your phone costs a month, but generally, if you're doing business by a cell phone or even if you have a landline, some people still have a fax machine, so they need a landline. You're going to have to enter that phone expense. So after you enter these, then your actual earnings is only $428. So this information is to help you decide whether or not you want to stay working in a salon as an employee, or say you negotiated a good percent, let's go $1,200 here, with the salon owner. Tell him I'm generating $1,200 a week. I want 60% commission, or I might consider going to chair rental. They may consider giving you an increase in your commission. So then you'd be earning $590 a week compared to the $1,200, the $428 as chair rental. So you're still going to end up making more money as an employee than you were if you're a chair rental. But if your goal is to actually become a salon owner one day, becoming chair rental is very good practice for you to do to make sure that you can handle all of these responsibilities before you start hiring employees and staff. So I hope that was helpful for you to decide for your business financials and to keep track of all of the expenses to make the best decisions for your career.
Okay, I told you I was going to share the responses from some of the state boards that I've gotten a response from, and then I'm going to share the outline of my flagship course so you can hear what else I have to offer. Okay, here are the responses. I emailed every state board in the United States, and so far I've gotten responses from about half of the states, and they all have a couple things in common. The responses say they can't tell me it's okay to turn away a client, they can't help interpret the rules, but the rules don't mention nail fungus, and 3, it's a personal choice, but certainly not illegal. Okay, so Indiana says, I found no statute or rule that speaks to prohibited practice on customers with irregular appearances or nail fungus. It appears this would be the personal preference of the licensee or the salon owner. Arkansas says, currently the board and barbers and hairdressers statutes and regulations do not address if providing services to someone with a nail disorder is illegal. No statement stating this is illegal or found in the board's statutes and regulations. Arizona says the board has no regulations against not performing services on discolored nails. Maryland says no, it is not against the law for nail technicians to work on clients with toenails that have irregular appearances or affected by nail fungus. Montana says the term nail fungus is not explicitly named anywhere in the statutes or rules, nor is a specific prohibition listed in that area. New Jersey says, does not oversee proprietors and management decisions, such as what you have presented. The option of offering services would be to the salon owner and practitioner. New York says, our schooling on nail work does have a topic on mold and fungus, disorders of the nails and skin, foot disease, so we believe you should be reasonably able to work on those conditions and know when the conditions are too bad to work on and it would cause injury to the client. Oregon says the Board of Cosmetology does not specify certain diseases and disorders, and an authorization holder is prohibited from providing services on. Ohio says the service may be conducted in the area if the client has received written permission from a physician, which physicians don't oversee our industry. Tennessee says the laws and rules do not prohibit services for clients with irregular nails or fungus. However, a licensed manicurist should know about communicable diseases, irregular nail appearances on toenails, and nail fungus. If a manicurist believes that the client has something more than nail fungus, such as a contagious disease or open sore, the client should be denied service unless they have a written permission from a physician. Virginia says students are taught bacteriology, anatomy, physiology, and diseases and disorders of the nail. Board staff cannot tell a shop that they cannot refuse to perform a service on someone they believe has a disease or disorder of the nail. That's within their discretion. If the sanitation or competency standards are met, there should be no reason for discipline. Also, they may contact an attorney to interpret the standards of practice. Colorado says, if you did not find the answers to your questions or more specific language related to nail fungus, we do not interpret the laws beyond what they are stated. Also remember, the U.S. is the only country with licensing, and many states have moved to eliminate it because they don't see a threat to the general public. So, if you are enlightened and trust that you can expand your service menu and offer additional services in your business, here is what you can expect to learn in my flagship course to become a specialty toenail and restoration nail technician. And be sure to read the testimonials from our graduates on our website. So my 22-hour course provides a system, a collection of elements carefully organized to help you accomplish your goals, the training and knowledge to help you execute the same techniques to help more people. When you join my network and log into my system, you will be able to track your progress, get resources, downloads, and testing, get access to a private community for advice and help at any time, direct access to Ask Me Anything, and belong to the fastest growing professional network where I advertise my network every day online for your benefit. You'll progress and build your knowledge after successful completion of each lesson with lifetime access to review. You'll have the ability to get lifetime referrals, and I'll be here for you every step of the way. Joining my network will help you increase client retention and brand value. You can then add our logo, especially the logo for the Global Meticulous Manicurist graduates and the Star NTs, and post your own before and after photos to stop the scroll and generate appointments in addition to our network map option. So here's what's included in our course. Module 1 is our welcome module, where you gain much clarity on your business goals and answering a list of thought-provoking questions. Your answers will be the foundation and roadmap for formulating your business strategy. Module 2 is business success attributes. You'll learn what makes a nail technician or a salon stand out from similar businesses. You'll have strategies that you can implement to attract a solid client base. You'll learn what will help make your job easier and your business run smooth. Module 3 is a client consultation, the importance of client pre-consultation and communication, how to implement a client intake form, what are the client's responsibilities before, during, and after the appointment. Is it normal to ask for a deposit? Ways to provide a premium service to clients before the actual nail procedure. Module 4 is tools, techniques, timing, and pricing, where you'll identify and understand the use of each tool needed for all pedicure levels. You'll use each tool to avoid injury and perform a high-quality pedicure in 45 minutes. You'll learn how to categorize and price each pedicure level based on the duration, techniques, and tools used. You'll learn the proper legal scope of the pedicure practice and the myths that prevent nail technicians from becoming well-rounded specialists. Module 5 is the regular pedicure procedure, where we'll have, it includes the limitations of express pedicures and when to allow an upgrade for a pedicure. You'll see the pedicure setup that saves you time, a complete video walkthrough of the actual demonstration from start to finish, Module 6 is the customized pedicure. You'll learn how to determine if your clients need a customized pedicure instead of just a regular pedicure. An effective and efficient way to deliver quality service in 60 minutes. You'll learn proper physics and hand position to prevent injury for you and your client. You'll learn how to handle foot care for elderly and diabetic. In Module 7 is the specialty pedicure procedures. You'll learn how and when to use an electric file during a pedicure to contour thick nails while avoiding client injury. You'll use appropriate bits and disinfection protocol between uses. You'll have appropriate body posture to prevent repetitive use injuries. You'll learn different causes of nail fungus and how to recognize it in clients' nails. This is an essential step of forming a plan of action. You'll learn the 4 types of different nail fungus and 4 detailed videos on how to handle those. Module 8 is the ingrown toenail cleaning. You'll learn how to identify an ingrown toenail and when to refer to a podiatrist, because not all nail discomfort is an ingrown, but everyone will call it an ingrown. And you'll learn how to properly clean an impacted toenail to relieve the discomfort. You'll learn when should the client actually be referred to a physician. There are 4 ingrown toenail demonstrations. Module 9 is the foot and leg massage. You'll learn all of the different massages, movements, and routines. You'll have detailed video demos of the massage techniques and massage tolerance factors for different clients. You'll learn the benefits and elements of a good massage, and you'll learn the questions to be asking during a massage. Module 10 is the electric file training and techniques. You'll learn all the movements to remove the excess cuticles to reduce the toenails. You'll identify and choose the bits for each service. You'll learn how to use the proper pressure and safety measures to prevent injury. You'll learn the proper cleaning and storage and what to charge for the particular services. There's 2.5 hours of video demos featuring all different problem toenails. Module 11 is the nail polish techniques. You'll learn the tools to use during the application. You'll learn proper alignment of your hands and the client's hands. You'll learn the aspects to comply with to apply nails perfectly. You'll have time-saving tips for manicures and pedicures, and there's 80-minute detailed video instruction with this. Module 12 is body ergonomics. You'll learn the typical industry injuries and how to prevent them. You'll avoid the brutal physical toll on your body when performing nail procedures and why it's essential to apply body ergonomics right from the start of your nail career. And you'll learn all the vital equipment to use and what not to use for clients. The right equipment can help you serve more clients and turn them into loyal customers. Module 13 is the salon policies and procedures. You're going to have a handbook for your business, a standard guide to managing your operations. You're going to have independent contractor relationship to the salon hours, standards of conduct, pay policies, wage issues, employee benefits, and many, many more. Module 14 is building your business. You're going to learn the fundamental foundation, perspective, and attitude of becoming a great nail technician with a loyal client base. You'll learn how to stand out as a nail service provider. Is it better to work in a nail salon or a full service salon? Should you be an employee or should you be chair rental? You'll learn what clients need and require from you as their nail care provider. You'll learn factors to consider when deciding on what services to specialize in and how to make clients happy to gain their trust. Module 15 is business finances. It's the essentials of being a self-employed nail technician and how to determine your cost per service. You're going to use a cost per service worksheet to track your materials across your services. You're going to find your consumables and your fixed expenses and all the tracking that you need to do as a business owner. So I've got you covered. You do not have to worry about profitability. And you'll also learn how to use the inventory ordering form. Module 16 is marketing materials. When to do courtesy calls, plus you'll have scripts. There's downloadables where you can edit and save and send. There's cancellation policies. Should you still serve as a client who's late for an appointment, client retention and referral strategies, and all kinds of other marketing materials. Module 17 is salon retail. Why should you encourage clients to buy nail products? And it's not just about the profit. You're going to learn essential products to sell as part of their nail care at home, and you're going to learn the right products that suit certain foot conditions and how to properly track your sales and inventory. And the last module is the patron protection and disease control on how to clean and disinfect your tools to keep your clients safe, acceptable types of disinfectant liquids, how to protect yourself from chemical exposure, how to recognize nail diseases and disorders. You need to know your rules and national occupational standards. There's also flashcards and homework to study for the test. I know this is a lot of information, but you're worth it. The industry is worth it, and the clients are worth it. You'll always win when you commit to the service-based business in the beauty industry. And I hope to see you soon in the enrollment section on academy.themeticulousmanicurist.com. And I hope soon you'll be displaying our specialty toenail and restoration nail technician title soon. If you have any questions, please email me at contact@themeticulousmanicurist.com. I hope you learned a lot today and have a great